Welcome, Shadow Seekers, to American Shadows, Crimes and Chronicles. Today, we're unearthing a tale that'll haunt your thoughts long after it ends. Whether you're glued to the screen or just listening in, you're in for a wild ride through history's darkest corners. If you're new, hit subscribe to join our mission of exposing America's hidden truths. Regulars, your likes fuel our journey into the unknown. Now, let's peel back the layers of time and reveal the secrets beneath. Ready? Let's begin. Love, guns, and live TV. The bank heist that shocked America. Hello friends, you're watching American Shadows, where we delve into the most captivating and sometimes bizarre chapters of American history. Today, we're taking you back to the sweltering summer of 1972 in Brooklyn, New York. The air was thick with humidity, and tensions were about to reach a boiling point on a day that would change lives forever and challenge societal norms for years to come. What transforms a desperate act of theft into a media sensation? How does a bank robber become an unlikely folk hero? And why, decades later, does this event continue to fascinate us, reflecting our evolving views on sexuality, media, and justice? Before we unravel this incredible tale, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you who support our work. Your engagement fuels our passion for bringing these shadowy corners of history to light. As we explore this complex story, we'd love to hear from you. How do you think events like this shape public perception of crime and social issues? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspectives add invaluable depth to these narratives. On August 22, 1972, John Wojtowicz woke up knowing this day would be different. The 27-year-old Vietnam War veteran had a plan, a desperate, audacious plan born out of love and frustration. With his piercing eyes and a determined set to his jaw, Wojtowicz was no ordinary criminal. His motivation wasn't greed or power, but a profound love that society at the time struggled to understand. As the clock struck 3 p.m., Wojtowicz, along with 18-year-old Salvatore Naturale and Robert Westenberg, approached the Chase Manhattan Bank at 450 Avenue P in Gravesend, Brooklyn. The air crackled with nervous energy as they stepped inside, their lives about to change irrevocably. Wojtowicz's partner, Elizabeth Eden, born Ernest Aaron, dreamed of gender reassignment surgery. In an era when LGBTQ rights were barely acknowledged, let alone accepted, Wojtowicz saw the bank as his only option to fund Eden's dream. This motivation would add a layer of complexity to the crime, making it a story about more than just a heist. It was about love, identity, and the extremes to which people will go when they feel trapped by circumstances. As they entered the bank, the plan began to unravel almost immediately. Westenberg, his face pale with fear, fled the scene before the robbery even began. Wojtowicz and Naturale were left alone, facing a terrifying reality. The vault contained a mere $2,000, far less than they had hoped for. In a moment of panic, Wojtowicz made a fateful decision. "Nobody move!" he shouted, his voice trembling. "This is a robbery!" 7 bank employees found themselves hostages in what was quickly becoming a nightmare. What was supposed to be a swift in-and-out job had turned into a tense standoff with the police. Outside, the once quiet Brooklyn street erupted into chaos. Police sirens wailed, their lights painting the gathering crowd in flashes of red and blue. As word spread, hundreds of onlookers gathered, their faces a mix of fear and morbid fascination. The media, sensing a story, descended on the scene like vultures. Inside the bank, Wojtowicz paced nervously, sweat beading on his brow. "I need a plane," he demanded of the police negotiator, his voice cracking with desperation. "And I need to talk to my wife." The situation was spiraling out of control, and Wojtowicz knew it. As the hours ticked by, something extraordinary began to happen. Television crews arrived, broadcasting the unfolding drama live to millions of homes. Wojtowicz, realizing he had an audience, began to engage with the crowd outside. He threw money to onlookers and shared his story, including his motivation for the robbery. "I'm doing this for love!" he shouted to the crowd, his words carrying a weight that would resonate for years to come. In that moment, Wojtowicz became more than a criminal to many watching. He became a symbol of the lengths one might go for love, challenging societal norms on live television. The scene outside the bank turned into a media circus, with hundreds of onlookers gathering to watch the drama unfold. Wojtowicz, realizing the gravity of the situation, began making increasingly bizarre demands, including requesting a helicopter to fly them to safety. He attempted to negotiate with the police while also interacting with the crowd outside, who began to see him as an anti-establishment folk hero of sorts. The whole event had an almost surreal quality, with the tension inside the bank juxtaposed against the carnival-like atmosphere outside. As night fell, the tension reached its peak. After 14 grueling hours of negotiations, the FBI arranged for a limousine to take Wojtowicz, Naturile, and the hostages to Kennedy Airport, where they were promised a jet to take them to safety. As they boarded the limousine, hope flickered in Wojtowicz's eyes, but fate had other plans. In a heart-stopping moment, FBI agents ambushed the limousine at the airport. Gunshots rang out, shattering the night air. When the smoke cleared, Naturile lay dead, and Wojtowicz was in custody. The hostages miraculously were unharmed, but forever changed by their ordeal. The aftermath of the robbery was as dramatic as the event itself. Wojtowicz's trial became a media spectacle, with crowds gathering outside the courthouse daily. Sentenced to 20 years, he served a 14 before being released into a world that had changed dramatically. The incident left an indelible mark on American society. It forced a national conversation about LGBTQ+ rights at a time when such discussions were taboo. The image of Wojtowicz, desperate to help his partner transition, challenged many Americans to confront their prejudices and reconsider their views on gender and sexuality. Banks across the country overhauled their security procedures in the wake of the robbery. Bulletproof glass became standard, and employee training for hostage situations was intensified. Law enforcement, too, developed new strategies for handling hostage situations, learning from both the successes and failures of the Brooklyn incident. The media's role in the event also sparked intense debate. The live coverage of the robbery raised ethical questions about the responsibilities of journalists in crisis situations. It led to discussions about the potential for copycat crimes and the balance between public interest and public safety. In many ways, the Brooklyn bank robbery foreshadowed the 24-hour news cycle that would emerge in later decades. Perhaps most significantly, the story captured the imagination of Hollywood. The 1975 film Dog Day Afternoon, starring Al Pacino as a character based on Wojtowicz, brought the tale to an even wider audience. The film's empathetic portrayal of its protagonist was groundbreaking, challenging viewers to see beyond black and white notions of crime and morality. It became a classic of American cinema, ensuring that the events of August 22, 1972, would never be forgotten. Elizabeth Eden, the woman at the heart of Wojtowicz's motivation, did eventually undergo gender reassignment surgery, partly funded by the movie rights Wojtowicz sold to Warner Brothers. She passed away in 1987, her life forever intertwined with one of the most infamous bank robberies in American history. Her story, often overshadowed by the sensationalism of the robbery, remains a poignant reminder of the struggles faced by transgender individuals in the 1970s. Wojtowicz himself became a complex figure in the public eye. After his release from prison, he embraced his notoriety, often giving interviews and appearing at events related to the robbery. He passed away in 2006, leaving behind a legacy that continues to spark debate and fascination. Today, the events of August 22, 1972, serve as a powerful reminder of how far we've come in our discussions of gender and sexuality, and how far we still have to go. They challenge us to consider the complex motivations behind criminal acts and the power of media in shaping public perception. The robbery remains a touchstone for discussions about LGBTQ+ rights, media ethics, and the nature of crime and punishment in America. As we reflect on this extraordinary tale, we're left with profound questions. How do desperate circumstances drive people to desperate acts? How has our society's view of LGBTQ+ issues evolved since then? And in our media-saturated age, how would a similar event unfold today? This is American Shadows, where we peer into the darker corners of our nation's past and present. Until next time, remember that history is rarely black and white. The story of the Brooklyn bank robbery reminds us that even in the most unlikely places, we can find stories that challenge our preconceptions and push society forward. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep watching American Shadows. In the pursuit of truth, every story matters, no matter how unexpected.